Verbič. We are pleased to welcome you again to the Gaidar Forum arranged by the National Academy of Economy and Public Administration. And I wonder if you could share your views with our audience about changes in the investment climate in this country. As you are very much familiar with the investment activities in your country and all around Europe, what would you say is the climate in Russia, I mean investment climate, economic climate, much different from that in Europe or elsewhere? Is it more favorable or is it disadvantageous for foreign investors?
Thank you very much for the invitation again. It's really a pleasure to be again attending Gaidar Forum. Very interesting meeting all the people that I have opportunity to meet from business, not just from Russian Federation, but from, so to say, all around the world. Also decision makers, the people that know what the climate is in different places. To be very sincere and answering your question, I'm not really specialized on investment environment and climate in Russian Federation. Of course, as a board member of European Federation of Investors and president of Slovenian Association of Investors and Shareholders, we have, of course, the information and idea, but not really very deep and precise one. I would generally say that of course, knowing the investment climate in Europe and especially in the region and part of Europe where I'm basically coming from, so let's say some would name it Western Balkans, some would name it Central Eastern Europe or Southeastern Europe, by the other side. There is investment climate, of course, quite active. I'm not so sure, because last time we have been also discussing about this unpleasant occasion of sanctions that, of course, is hurting not just trade, but also the investment activities among Russian Federation and European Union as such, and is also, of course, touching and influencing such a relation between Russian Federation and Slovenia. But regarding Slovenia, on the other side, we have some new, much more actual questions that we have been discussing on our last conversation and interview. It's a question of Agrokor and Mercator, and of course the role of Sberbank in this case. So hopefully the solution will be found and both the economic owner, which is, and I always also reminded some of representatives already a year ago about this, is of course Sberbank, the economical owner, and on the other side the interest of Mercator as one of the rare systems and groups inside the Agrokor, which would go to bankruptcy if it would not be the solution to save it with the so-called new Agrokor. But Mercator is still one of the positive systems and groups in there, and of course is also strategically important for Slovenia, for all the food production chain, which is quite touchy question in Slovenia, and that's why I noticed that there were probably some, let's say, misunderstanding or the noise in the communication between the representatives of Sberbank and Agrokor on one side, and on the other side our Ministry of Economics and Development on the other side, and some other bodies and agencies and regulators in Slovenian side. So we have been working quite active also to present, to give a proper information about what goes on really and what are really substantiable questions that are connected to this pretty important matter generally. But of course, again, especially and even more from the Slovenian side, from the side of the region. And there was also other topics that developed since last time. It's the field of energetics. And I believe that, and I hope that there will be some development as well regarding this cooperation between Russian Federation and Slovenia, and in the region, of course, as well. Not just talking now generally about Europe. Generally about Europe, again, the European Federation of Investors, which I, as a board member, represent also here in the Gaida Forum, is interested in strengthen and deepen the relation between the Russian representatives, the associations of investors, shareholders and business people. As a matter of fact, we have a member from Russia as well in European Federation of Investors, but we would be of course glad to even strengthen and boosten this relation and the currents that are taking place, and of course we would be happy to see maybe some initiative also from the side of representatives and the institutions and bodies from Russian Federation considering this matter.
You were mentioning when we met a year ago that you were expecting some private investors, small businesses from Russia to come to Slovenia, to the Balkans in general, and invest there. Has there been any development in this regard?
Yes, I have to say that is more and more present and vivid that some investors from Russian Federation and from, let's say, ex-Soviet region as well, they are stronger and stronger present in Slovenia and in the region of, name it Balkans, name it Southeastern Europe. So yes, and let me say that we are quite happy that also from the not just business field but also cultural field and other fields, and the events that are taking place in Slovenia with the very strong presence of the cultural institution and Slovenian in Slovenia, and the activities also supported by the Embassy of Russian Federation are really well attended also by Slovenian people, and we are glad to see this, that we have also from this side really very good and friendly relation with people that are having business, are investing in Slovenia, or just decided to come there, maybe to spend there several months during the summer on the Mediterranean coast or in Lake Bled, on some spa centers that are very popular among the Russian people. And this is still the trend that it is increasing, and I'm very glad to see that and to report this to you from year to year, that it's still strengthening and more popular, and that still this relation that we have, it's really, I cannot use other word that really friendly.
Great, but apart from cooperation in energy, in tourism, apart from the people's diplomacy, are there any developments in high-tech, in new technologies that bring together the businessmen from both countries?
Yes, of course. There is also the very strong relations among the scientists and the science, not just in academic sphere, but also science connected to direct to business and to innovation. I would say that there are still not just from the previous decades, but also newly established cooperation with the institutions and the institutes and the representatives from the research field between Slovenia and Russian Federation. And on the other side, of course, we are trying to be and to really develop some niche technologies and niche products, which is of course for Slovenia as a rather small country, much more important because this is the way how you are really maybe in the peak on the world scale in some of the technologies, and you really have to be very innovative in more of them. And of course, the cooperation here, it's also between Slovenia and the Russian institution. It's quite significant and also present. I would definitely like to see even more of that.
Great, thank you very much for your opinion and your expertise, and we'll be looking forward to further developments in every respect between our two countries.
And again, please, very welcome, come to Slovenia, come for a visit, and I would be glad not just to have interview there over there with you, but also to show you at the spot the opportunities and the cooperation that we are discussing about. We're coming together on this really prestigious and special Gaida Forum that I'm so glad to be invited again to attend.
Thank you very much. That will definitely happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much.